Right now, let's talk UNC squeaking by Minnesota. And it's squeaking by. I say squeaking by because, I mean, it's a missed field goal at the end of the game from Minnesota being much happier than they are right now, right? Winning the game. The story of this one for UNC. Is it safe to say that Mack Brown maybe overthought the quarterback competition thing a little too much and made it difficult for either quarterback to be successful? Because it was obvious that the offense for UNC had a tough time finding a rhythm, a tough time stringing together good plays. They were not afraid to get the ball to Omari in Hampton, and he's always going to be good. 100-plus yards, 30 carries, 5 catches. He's always going to be good. But the offense as a whole appeared disjointed, appeared out of rhythm, and I can't help but think, could that be something to do with the fact that you were practicing for a whole bunch of training camp with two very different quarterbacks running things?
It's almost as if, and this goes for Connor Harrell too when he came into the game, it's almost as if they didn't trust either quarterback to throw the ball really a lot in the game.
And when they did, it was hesitant.
Yeah.
It was hesitant.
Now, I will say the J.J. Jones tiptoe grab on the first third down on the first drive was phenomenal. But after that, he went kind of silent.
Well, even little things like that where it's you make a play in football, and I know that there's scientists out there that say momentum isn't real. In football, momentum is real. Somebody makes a big play, you want to get on the line, you want to build off it, you want to make another big play. If my defense forces a turnover and I'm an offensive play caller, you want to call a shot pretty quick in the drive and see if you can't get that snowball rolling downhill. J.J. Jones makes a play or the defense makes a play, and they made a bunch of them. It's like, when does the next thing – it was disjointed. Mack Brown used the term uptight after the game when discussing his offense in the first half.
We felt like that he hadn't been in this offense before, and we felt in general that the offense was uptight the first half. And Minnesota's a good defense. We knew that. We knew this would be a line of scrimmage game, and we were having trouble protecting. So we felt like that we would adjust to things at halftime. I thought the coaches did and gave him some better opportunities. And then I thought Mack settled down and had more confidence in that third quarter. And I really hated to see him get hurt, but we've talked about needing two quarterbacks, and we talked about Connor was probably going to play in this game at some time. So thank goodness Connor was ready.
Here's what I've been talking about with Mack Brown and how they handled this quarterback position for weeks and weeks and weeks now, right? We've been harping on it, and I hate that it did rear its ugly head in the game. It is just really, really hard to have two separate guys ready to play quarterback in a big non-conference game. It's just hard. I'll put it this way. It's hard to have one quarterback ready to play in a big non-conference game. To get one quarterback ready, every rep with the ones, right? If you need more reps, you ask for them. It's so again, I did not play at UNC. I did not play in the Power 4. I played FCS football at the University of Delaware. But as a backup quarterback, I used to get so mad when the starter would ask for some of my plays. And what I mean by that is when we were in 7-on-7, when we were in 11-on-11, when we were in any team drill in practice, our rotation was the starter gets 6 plays, the backup gets 2. The starter gets 6, the backup gets 2. And there would be times during a week where the starter would say, hey, let me grab these 2. And the coach would say, fine, because there was something he wanted to get another look at. There was something he wanted to work out with a particular wide receiver. And I remember as a backup being so unbelievably mad. Like, come on, man, you get 6. I'm just trying to get better over here. You're going to take my 2? But then when I became the starter, guess what? I'm asking for those 2 because I'm realizing, for me to be ready on Saturday, I need to get that look one more time. I need to see it done right. I need to talk to my wide receiver about how I want that route run, and then we need to do it again. And you realize, like, oh, that's what he was doing. He needed certain weeks, every rep during those drills to be ready on Saturday. Now imagine what UNC was trying to do for these two quarterbacks. They were splitting reps. Not like 6-2, not 7-1, even. And imagine what that does for the rest of the team. Because Max Johnson is 6'5", pocket passer. Connor Harrell, 6'1", runs around a bunch. That's different requirements. And it looked like it. Max Johnson, this is no disrespect to Max Johnson, the player, because I think he's a very talented player, and I hate to see him hurt. He didn't look ready. Not from like, oh, his arm wasn't strong enough or, oh, he wasn't accurate enough. He didn't look ready. Like, he looked timid. He looked like he didn't trust the offense like the back of his hand. He looked like he wasn't willing to pull the trigger quickly. The early interception was a panic interception. Back foot. Yeah,
1st and 10 at midfield. I don't know why you're trying to take a shot that far. It almost felt like he was trying to force it to Bryson Nesbitt.
It looked like we used to call something that's you're not allowed to call it anymore, but I've heard it called Rumble Fumble, the game. And what that is you play it as a kid. It's very, very barbaric. Somebody has the football. Everybody tries to tackle that person. Once they're on the ground, they throw the football, and then somebody else picks it up. They're the new target, and you just keep doing that. But there was always somebody that didn't want to get hit. So they'd pick up the ball, they'd be running, and as soon as they're about to get popped, they go, and throw the ball away, right? Someone else take it. Max Johnson's throw looked like it was, just let me get rid of it. He wasn't settled, and then he gets hurt. And again, bummer. I'm to the point now, I don't know if it's me getting older in my 30s, I can't watch people get hurt.
No, when I first watched the replay this morning during Next Up when it was on in the studio, it was one of those things I was in the middle of asking David Shoemate, play-by-play voice of the Blue Devils, a question. And I had to catch myself as I caught myself going, oh.
I used to go like, oh, let me see what happened. Oh, look, it bent the wrong way. Now I'm like, why are they showing the replay? Like, I get a pit in my stomach because I feel so bad for these players. So then Max Johnson gets hurt. Absolute bummer. Feel for him. Hopefully he makes a complete and total recovery. Connor Harrell goes in. Completely different quarterback. Didn't play the whole first half and into the second half. He didn't look ready. And that's, again, nothing on his physical ability or the type of quarterback he is. He looked like he was questioning what he was seeing. He runs a 4.4 40-yard dash on a little read keep. He kind of tried to cut it up when he should have taken the corner and go. And it's just, that was instinctual. We saw him play in the bowl game last year, and he did make some quick decisions. He wasn't perfect, but he was out there more in control. You could tell leading up to the game, he had gotten all of the reps and he was more prepared. He made some questionable decisions. They didn't trust him to do much. It's why I always say the moment you know who your starting quarterback is, you name them and you give them the reps. And if you think these guys are completely even, completely, totally, like they're the exact same quality of player, pick one. That's not fair, but you have to because you can't have two guys ready. Now, luckily, UNC fans are probably going, why are you being so negative? We won a game against the Big Ten. I got you. You won a game against the Big Ten. Luckily, you have a defense that played lights out. Minnesota made some mistakes that you capitalized on. You have a kicker that wanted to be the MVP of the game. And you have Omarion Hampton in the run game, right? Omarion Hampton, 30 carries, 5 receptions. When you needed to grind something out, he was there. You're lucky you have that. But I'm looking to the future, in which case now the season is riding on Connor Harrell. And you may actually stumble into a situation where the quarterback can be more successful, right? Because Mack Brown said 2 quarterbacks were going to play all season. He said he wanted 2 quarterbacks to play all season. It looks like a lie because he was only going to play Max Johnson. But now, unless Max Johnson's injury is severely overblown in kind of our initial reactions, he's going to be out for a long time. Connor Harrell's finally going to get the opportunity to prepare like a starter.
Now, I will say, to me, I think the play of the game, and also this is just when I was kind of able to really tune in when I got back from the NC State game, the Connor Harrell 32-yard completion to J.J. Jones with 2:50 left in regulation, not just because it was a throw on the run, but because, Tim, I feel like you can appreciate this, how he was able to fake out the defender as far as tucking it and making it look like it was just going to be a run play, and then end up being a run-pass option, and then at the last second, finding Jones along the sidelines.
To nerd out for a second, I geeked out over the play design. I was like,
it was a great play call.
I was like, let me rewind this. It looks like a true read keep, not a RPO, because it didn't look like there was a real pass option. It didn't look like he really considered it. And then as he's running, first of all, shout out to the offensive line. Nobody went downfield.
No.
Which
tends to happen. You saw it last night with State.
You look at it and you see Harrell tuck it, and you're like, cool, let me go downfield and help him. They all stayed back, and then you're playing, the children's game, monkey in the middle with that corner. If he comes at you, dump it over the top, you have a big gain. If he stays back with the wide receiver, pump fake it so he sticks with him even further, tuck it and run up the sideline, get your own yards. Great play design. Shout out to Chip Lindsey. Ended up being one of the plays that won the game for him. You need that kind of command of the offense from your quarterback every play, even the basic plays. You can't be hesitant. You can't be timid. You can't be coy. You have to be decisive. I didn't see that enough from UNC's quarterbacks. But again, that's why there's next week. And your consolation prize is you beat a Big Ten team.
Yeah.
You won a non-conference game on the road to open your season with your quarterbacks playing timid. That's the unlocking the top, right? Unlocking the higher gear is, what if our quarterbacks play decisive? Do that next week and build from there.
Now, can we talk about another positive, though, for North Carolina?
Let's do it.
And I'm sure this is a lot of things that Carolina fans weren't even thinking that they'd be saying was a big factor in the game. The defense. The defense looked a lot better.
For sure.
I'm not going to say it looked stellar because it also looked great against South Carolina last season when they got 9 sacks. But
fool me once.
It does look like a different defense, a Carolina defense that we haven't been used to seeing in previous years under Jeff Collins, as far as that hit it and steal it mindset of, go for the football every time you make a tackle.
Yeah, Jeff Collins had a good day. I'll agree with you on that. Minnesota's offense, I'm curious to see how they'll be as the season goes along, but Jeff Collins and that defense definitely had a good day, and are a big reason why you were able to play so conservatively on offense and still win the game, and go for all those field goals and not feel like you had to go for it on 4th downs and just keep kicking it, and it's because you had faith in your defense. So credit to them. A win is a win is a win. That's one of the themes of today. A win is a win is a win. Inch or a mile. That one may have been by just a couple of yards of missed kick, but hey, inch or a mile, a win is a win.